Can anxiety in situations with extreme stress be mitigated? Can anxiety in situations with like extreme focus or stress or lots of stuff going on that are really important, can it be mitigated? Welcome to Mind Games episode 37. Today I'm going to talk about a question I got from Alec, who wants to kind of extend on the concept we talked about in ranked anxiety, which is another video that I did. Mind Games. Not actually sure what number that was. Probably should have looked it up before starting recording. Not going to do it now. Okay. What about anxiety about like super high stress moments, like psyching yourself out over like the big moment when you're like you're going to gank or you're going to team fight, or it's the moment at the end of the game when everything's even and you're Tristana and you have to carry in this next team fight, or everybody's going to lose. Like, how do you keep yourself under control in these really high stress, extreme stress moments where the anxiety just like apparently for him like ratchets up like crazy? Okay, like 1v2s, where it's just like you versus two people and you gotta outplay them to win. Okay. So yeah, thank you first of all for this question. Again, this show is powered by questions. It's powered by you. It's powered by interaction. It's not happening in a vacuum. It's not just me talking at the screen. Okay, it's all of these amazing people who are asking questions who are really fueling this. So mindgames.gg/TV. Go fill out what's on your mind today. Give me some fuel for the show. Thank you. And pink shirts rock. Pink shirts rock. Okay, so can this stress be mitigated? Yes and no. Okay, see you tomorrow. No, I'm kidding. The base level of stress cannot be mitigated. That is eustress. So there's stress and eustress. Okay, so eustress is good stress, and it's there to make you sharp. Stress is there to make you sharp. So when we examine people's nervous system, central nervous system during stress, during living, what we see is examples of stress, which shows up as red, as a pretty solid rhythm heart rate, and then examples of no stress, so like deep sleep, stuff like that, which shows up as green, which is a very variable heart rate. Okay. Then we have eustress, which shows up as blue. Well, obviously we're just coloring these in, so I'm just saying they show up as these colors, but these are just made up colors. Anyway, but blue, it's like very, very solid heart rate, very steady, very strong, fast. Wow, okay. Yeah, it's getting late here. Welcome to my life. I get to record late at night because I have a job and kids. It sucks. You can help that, by the way. Go to mindgames.gg/patron and free me from my job. But anyway, I can make content all day. Okay, so anyway, back to the topic. Yeah, eustress. Okay, so you experience a certain amount of stress from these given situations, and this is actually quite healthy, quite good. Okay. It is energy. It brings focus. It brings memory. It brings cognition. It brings blood to the brain, blood to the muscles. It gives fresh mental growth. It circulates hormones. It shoots off tons of neurotransmitters, activates your mitochondria, activates the body, the muscles. It's health building. It brings more green stress, or green stress-free night. So like when you have eustress and then you like have the rest of your day and then you sleep, like you have really deep, strong sleep. That's very recovery. Great for the brain. So this eustress stuff, the base level of stress you get from like highly engaged encounters, exercising, running, physical activity. We don't know yet if it's caused by like esport athletes, like super high stress environments, but I'm guessing that it does because it seems to be associated with flow state. So if you can get into flow state, then it's probably going to happen. Okay, so this is fine. The added on stress, so the base level of stress, no, you cannot mitigate that, nor should you worry about it. The added on stress, usually you can mitigate it. You can make it dissipate. It's not a guarantee. It's also not necessary. But I'm going to ask you to train for something else entirely. I'm going to ask you to train the buildup of this stress. And if it goes away, great. That's a byproduct of this training. If it stays around, you'll be able to handle it because the training like accounts for that. Okay, so how to mitigate this build-up stress is to understand, first of all, that the psyching yourself out. So clean emotion, dirty emotion are the phrases that I like to use, and this was from the Mindfulness Acceptance Commitment program, which was a research-based sports psych intervention from 2004. It's kind of been used around the block. Clean emotion, dirty emotion. So clean emotion is the emotion that's triggered by the situation. It's pretty light, and it's like the stress that comes. Like you feel the butterflies when Champ Select is loading up and you're going into your lane, and those first few minions that you're trying to CS, whether it's Dota or like when you're like, first peeking around a corner when you get to the bomb site. That like sharp edge, like that is the triggered kind of stress and emotion. The dirty emotion is what you build on top of that. So you feel that and you're like, you start thinking about the future. You start thinking about the past, the mistake you made last time you did this. You start thinking about the future. Oh my God, am I going to die again? Is my team going to flame me? You start thinking about judgment. Like, am I good enough to handle this matchup? Is this person going to style on me? And all that stuff kind of builds, okay? You create this out of nothing, okay? And just to illustrate this, I want to talk about the coffee challenge. So if you go to 100 Days of Failure, it's a blog, you'll find a guy who wrote a book about failure. I think it's like called Failure Proof. And he basically committed himself to trying to do something every single day that would make him fail. And what he realized is like a lot of times we psych ourselves up for these things, and you can create reality out of nothing. Like you can psych yourself up. He talks about this one time he went to a house and his goal was to ask the guy to play football in his backyard. So just like in a random suburb, just show up fully clothed in football gear, but soccer gear with a soccer ball under his arm and say, hey, can I play soccer in your backyard? Because he does some crazy thing every day that always gets a no. So he psyched himself up. This guy was going to say no. Then he said yes. And he was like, okay. So, all of the psyching himself up and the preparation for this failure moment, and it didn't happen. It didn't come back. It wasn't real. It was just in his mind. It was complete and utter waste of time. And even worse than that, stress actually lowers your lifespan. So it ages you. Causes these advanced glycogen end products to kind of like pop up more and more, which are essentially like glycation of a protein that then does not decay. It's a very solid, like non-decaying state, and so it just like sits in your body. They name them advanced glycogen end products because the acronym for that is AGE, which is one of the things they think is related to aging. It also can like mitigate your DNA telomeres, so the tails on your RNA and your DNA that like give your lifespan of that like strand of that acid like gets shorter, right? Meditation, de-stressing can make them get healthy again. Stress and like lowers them. Isn't that crazy? You're like literally aging yourself with stress. So like you can invent reality in your mind, like this thing's gonna fail. I'm gonna fail at this. I'm gonna have to pay all these taxes. I'm gonna have to do this homework assignment, and it's going to be hard, and I'm just thinking about it, and this lady's going to turn me down. Like I'm going to ask her on a date, and she's going to say no. I'm going to ask for, I'm going to have to haggle for this because I don't have $5. I only have $4, and I really need to buy this thing, so I'm going to haggle for it. You create these things in your mind, and they affect your health and your well-being in your life. They become real, physically real inside your DNA. And then they don't actually come to pass. And now you're living one day less, 7 hours less, for an event that never existed in the first place. Now, this is probably stressing you out. Jeez, what am I doing? Okay, so sorry about that. But what I mean to say is that cognition is powerful. Okay, building up these like castles of anticipation on top of our triggered emotions is very, very real stuff for the body. So what I want you to do is change your self-talk. Change the way you address this. When you start to experience that healthy buildup of stress towards the big moment, when you start to experience that butterflies and like all of the kind of like jittering and like the extra energy and the sharpness and the flavor that goes along with that, it's not bad. Stop trying to suppress it. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to fear it. Don't try to anticipate it. Welcome it. Okay? It's energy. It's just energy. It's hormones and chemicals and glucose running through your body. And you know why you're twitching is probably because you're not running. Okay? Your body's getting you ready to run, to be active. And like here we are competing on a computer. So of course it's going to be like jittery. It's energy. It brings focus. It brings cognition. It brings fresh mental growth, like hormones, all of these things I talked about earlier. It activates the body. So it will actually make you sharper and more in the zone than before. So welcome it. It's health building. It's eustress. This will change your narrative. So change your narrative from this is, oh my God, here it comes. Like, oh, I'm stressed out now. And then you build on top of it to like, here it comes. Yes, this is it. Like, I know I'm focused. This is the moment. I'm ready for it. Don't take that great foundation of that stress that's coming and then build on top of it a castle of horror. Instead, build on top of it a castle of growth so that you're like, okay, I'm going to try super hard. I've got the focus. I've got the energy. I might fail. That's fine. I'm going to learn from that and do better next time. So yeah, that is my advice for. Can anxiety in situations with extreme stress be mitigated? Yes and no. So yeah, thanks for the question. I kind of got into that. I'm like blasted now. I don't even know what to say. I don't think I have any new news or announcements. I guess I've been talking a little bit about nutrients this week. If you have any interest at all in optimization, you're going to have a performance mindset, like a performance framework, physical, mental, spiritual, all of these things come into your performance mindset, okay? And one of the physical aspects is nutrition. It's really important. We just got a nutritionist at Mind Games. She just kind of like contacted me, and I think she's going to write some awesome articles. But going along with nutrition is supplementation, like taking extracts from food and making them, extracting the stuff that like has an impact on our health and eating it. So like protein powder, omega-3, caffeine, taurine. If you drink Red Bull, you're drinking a bunch of supplements, basically. So this is a really hot topic in esport. I wrote an article called "Doping in Esports" about a CS:GO story that I covered, and then I tacked onto it the illegal doping, and I tacked onto it ways of optimizing your performance nutritionally using supplements in a legal way. And I'm really going to try to push that to the next level here. So if you're interested at all in that, check out mindgames.gg/nootropics, NOOTROPICS, nootropics. It's the word that means basically cognitive enhancing nutrients. So supplements that enhance your cognition. They either make you more focused, they improve your memory, they protect you from Alzheimer's, these kind of things. Like we're discovering all these foods like ginkgo biloba, omega-3 oils from fish, these kind of things that like improve your brain's health in a way. So they're called nootropics, and I'm going to start covering them in some videos and some articles. And actually I've got 2 podcasts up there already you can go listen to. So check those out and visit mindgames.gg/patron for $5. 5 years a month you can sponsor this show. It's awesome. For you and for me. Mostly for me. Also for you. But mostly for me. I think. Yeah. Because like you're losing $5, €5, and I'm gaining €5. So I think that's like mostly for me. But, the value of math doesn't work out that way in real life. Like, I would pay somebody $5 to grade all this homework that I have to grade. And that, yeah, anyway. Okay.